was in 8th grade. We just moved to a new town, and there was 2 weeks left to go of the school year. And while we were registering for classes in the guidance counselor's office, my father asked the guidance counselor if there was anything for me and my sister to get involved in during the summer, because we weren't going to have enough time to make friends in 2 weeks at school, and then it would be a whole summer without knowing anyone. And she said, well, there's a couple things, but she told us about Camp Sebago. And Camp Sebago is the Salvation Army's camp in Maine. She said they have a wilderness camp and they have a music camp. And I wasn't too interested in music at that point, so I said, I'll go to wilderness camp. And so I went to Salvation Army Wilderness Camp that summer. I didn't really know anything about, I didn't really know that it was Salvation Army at that time. And I know that my father brought me to the Salvation Army to go to camp the day we left, but I still don't think it sunk in. And so I went, and I had a great week in the woods, making our own food, doing everything, and really had just a phenomenal, life-changing time there. And it was really God's hand at work in this whole thing. It was the first year they had done Wilderness Camp, and the guy that was running it was the Corps officer in Concord, New Hampshire, where I went from. So the guy that was running it got to know me while I was at camp, and he was the Salvation Army major in the town that I lived in. So he really kept up a connection with me, and I came home, and I still didn't really get involved with the Army. And the Army, where it was situated in the town, it was the high school, the Army, and then my house. I walked right past the Corps building every day. And one day towards Christmas, I walked in, and their teen group just happened to be meeting. They were having a Christmas party or something, and so I walked in, and that was it. I walked in, and then they plugged me into the programs there, and that's how I got involved in the Salvation Army. And it's really a cool story. I mean, you hear about schools and separation between the church and schools, and here it was at a public school that they introduced me to the Salvation Army, and here I am now.
Cool.